This podcast is rated IS for incredibly silly and definitely contains bad words, bad jokes, and other bad content that should not be heard by anyone, least of all children. Or maybe it should be. We don't know. We're still not their parents. You're listening to the Starforge podcast with Scya and Mal, two nerdy humans who still have a lot to say about Star Wars: The Old Republic and all its features. Rest assured, the podcast is, as always, working as intended. This is episode 26, Revenge of the Sixth. Hello, SWTOR players. I am Mal.
And I'm Scya.
And this is the Starforge podcast. And we are having a blast because it is Star Wars week.
I was told today's episode would be loosey-goosey, and Mal asked me, Scya, do you want to have a drink for this episode? And I said, absolutely.
And then I forgot my drink. Very out of character for me. So I went and got one.
Can I tell you about what I made?
Yeah, tell me.
So I really like blue curacao, and I had this crazy idea when I was watching The Mandalorian for the first time. You know how there's a scene with the little baby Yoda and he's trying to eat all the eggs?
Yes.
And it's in this like blue goopy liquid.
Uh-huh.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
So I've got blue curacao, and normally I mix it with Sprite, and I've got this crazy idea that one day I'm going to host a fancy Star Wars party. I'm going to convince Mr. Swtorista to come on and actually meet other people, and we're going to drink baby Yodas, and the drink's going to be blue curacao, Sprite, and the thing that you put in boba tea, the little bubbles, the popping bubbles.
The tapioca. I think they're tapioca.
Yes. Except
balls.
The one that's the gel on the outside with the liquid on the inside, and they're going to be the little eggs from the baby Yoda. It's going to happen one day. Podcast listeners, absolutely all of you are invited. But today is Star Wars week, and by the time you're listening to this, it should be the 6th of May, past May the 4th, or traditional Star Wars Day, but we're going to be celebrating Revenge of the Sixth today. So Mal, can I tell you about what I'm actually drinking today?
What are you actually drinking, since it's probably not eggs and...
No, it's not. We're not having a fancy party today.
Okay.
I'm sitting here recording the podcast with you. Pretty good time. Either way, I had blue curacao, but I didn't have Sprite. I did have Dr. Pepper. So they're the same thing, right?
Oh my
I'm drinking
God.
I'm drinking a dirty baby Yoda.
Oh, God.
So I'm unfortunately not invited to be the bartender for your next event. You really shouldn't have me.
Oh, just...
Tastes good.
Oh, well. To each their own. I drank rum last night, so tonight I have just a truly hard seltzer.
It's dark side, though. I can see it.
Truly hard seltzer.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about what drinks would Sith drink? They've got to be wine people, right? Sangria for the fancier ones?
No, they're more of like, this is my vintage from the Korriban dry vineyards back in 600.
Like 3,000-year-old wine.
This is a 3,000-year-old bottle of wine.
That was...
And you'd put it in the fanciest goblet you have on hand, the Dark Council.
All the slaves who acquired the wine have been beheaded and buried into a Sith temple by now, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Vintage. So to celebrate Revenge of the Sith, we're going to be talking about, well, big shocker, Sith, and who some of our favorite or interesting Sith in the Old Republic era are.
Right. By the way, we know it's Revenge of the 5th or whatever, but this podcast doesn't come out on the 5th. It comes out on the 6th, which sounds like Sith. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a problem.
Get on board.
I feel like you're preemptively worrying about people coming at you.
Are you kidding? I worry about these nerds all the time. They come at you for anything.
Are they going to come at me for my dirty baby Yoda? I'm like holding up my glass to show Mal. I've actually got a baby Yoda cup.
Yep. And the drink does look dirty.
It's brown.
That was mean. I'm sorry. It's brown though. It's just Dr.
Brown with it's got a tinge of blue. Okay, that makes it better.
I love you. That sounds like a drink you make in college because you're like, oh God, we are out of booze. What do we have in the fridge? We have the blue curacao from the luau last month and this Dr. Pepper that was on sale at the store. Throw that shit in a trash can It's now dirty baby Yoda juice.
I'm sorry, I'm a Sith acolyte. I can't afford a whole vintage liquor shelf, okay?
Never have I ever drank something from a trash can.
But you know who can afford a liquor shelf? About half the Sith that we're about to talk about. Mal, where should we start?
I think first we're going to start with the Sith that you only meet when you are a complete disappointment. We meet a lot of good Sith when we're out and about. You know, they probably are disappointed when we meet them because a lot of times we kill them. So if I were a Sith, I would be disappointed at that.
Oh, no. They're very happy to see us at first, and then they remain happy in death.
I'll tell
Absolutely.
you who's a cool one, who didn't seem totally disappointed that he was killed. Darth.
Whoa, are we jumping right into the
cool.
spoilers? Oh, by the way, apparently we're talking about spoilers today.
I'll just back it up. We're talking about spoilers today.
And who's one of the most spoilery Sith in the entire neighborhood?
Darth Mar.
If you haven't turned back yet and don't want any spoilers about various Sith in the game, now is the time to do so because 3, 2, 1. Darth Mar, I think, is one of the most beloved Sith in the entire game, and he's dead.
He is.
He's dead. Pal.
You know what, though? He really takes his death as an opportunity to get his shit together and figure himself out.
He learns how to cook. He gets himself a little wife.
Yeah, he hangs out.
Goes camping.
Goes camping. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you meet him. And even if you're very hard-nosed, he's like, open your mind, man. Because I died, and let me tell you, I see it all very clearly now.
Right. We don't get to see a lot of Force ghosts in Star Wars: The Old Republic on the Imperial side who are there to help or to guide. We see a lot of ghosts in the Sith Inquisitor story, but a lot of them are cray-cray, or they're like trying to establish their bloodline, all that kind of stuff. But Darth Mar has a really larger agenda, much more similar to the ghosts we see in the movies. But before then, oh my God, Darth Mar, I think, was the first Sith that I ever fell in love with. If you've ever played the Imperial Makeb storyline, it took me a long time to play that because I was a hardline Republic player for a very long time. And then you see the end of the Makeb storyline, and it's like zooming away from the ship, and you've got Darth Mar in command of everything, and it's just like, oh, that's what I want to be when I grow up.
I want to be a Darth just like you, Darth Mar, when I grow up, and I'm not a baby Sith anymore.
I'm going to be so good. I'm going to be Emperor of the entire... No, that doesn't happen.
No, it's a baby Sith, though, so it'd be like, oh, Darth Maul, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, a Sith like you.
But the Sith that everyone wants to be like, that is definitely going to be the Emperor himself.
Is it?
Like, where do you even...
I don't want to be him.
I don't know. You don't want to be the Emperor?
No.
He's the most powerful being in the entire galaxies.
He's so crusty. Ugh.
He can take any body he wants. He's just crusty because he wants to be.
God, well then he must be a dummy somewhere in there if that's what he's choosing on purpose. Very strange.
But look, if you could look like any Sith, who would you look like?
I look like Bronte. Get those wings coming out of my back.
Right, if you're going to have the costume of any character, the Dreadmasters, they have got to win that competition. No one even comes close.
No, if I had to pick one, though, like, no, for real, though, one where you can, like, see the face, I think I'd pick Asina.
Oh, we're supposed to talk about Asina so soon. I can't. My heart is palpitating. I told Mal, if we're going to talk about Asina, we have to do Smash, Pass, or Airlock because it's the only one I can give a qualitative answer to.
Smash.
And I was so sad, so incredibly sad that to choose to continue allying with her meant abandoning the Republic, essentially. I was just like, can't do it, Asina. Not on my Republic trooper.
Fascinating.
There's a lot of Sith we don't know what they look like, though. For example, Darth Mar in the game never takes off his mask. Darth Barris, I think we actually may be able to see in one of the comics. He kind of looks how you'd expect him to.
You said Darth Barris?
Yeah, Darth Barris. You get to see Darth Barris back in the day.
And they look like a Krispy Kreme donut. No, back in the day, so he looked like a munchkin, right? One of those. It's too easy.
One Sith that you never see take off their mask, and I don't think has any type of canon appearance, though, is my boy Darth Jadis. He is one of my favorite characters in the entire game, part of the Imperial Agent story.
Tell me more.
Well, you see, he wants to spread fear to everyone, everywhere, with abandon and glee. He doesn't want it to just be held by the Sith. He wants to democratize fear. Everyone, vote today. Darth Jadis 2022.
You get some fear, and you get some fear, and look under your seat. Fear!
I'm asking you once again.
I grew up a poor Sith in a coal mine on Korriban. My father was just a poor moth working on a Star Destroyer. That's all.
This is a loosey-goosey episode. We told you from the beginning.
I know.
Darth Jadis, I love. He's just such a dramatic character. You don't really get to learn a lot about him compared to a lot of the other Sith and other characters, but he's just such an iconic character. Once you get to meet him, you're like... And his story never gets resolved, so he could totally come up sometime in the future. I really hope he does, but I don't know if he ever will.
I don't know. You know who else we can't forget?
Who?
She's been with us such a long time now. Lana.
Who's that? Lana Beniko, but is she really a Sith?
I don't know, man. When business has got to get handled, her eyes do be going all orangey yellow. Like, She's dark 3 at least.
She's got a red lightsaber. That's how you know. If you have a red lightsaber, you're a Sith. Easy. Doesn't matter what your pragmatics or your dogmatics are. Yeah. When the ignition ignites, shing. If it's rouge, your dark side.
Oh, that's emotion you just made that I can't forget.
Whoa. Look, I'm igniting my lightsaber, okay? I'm both a Foley artist and a method actor.
I learn something new about you every time we record.
Always happy to share with you. Is there any other Sith we should talk about? Because there's just so many in this game. I've been working on this really crazy artwork. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll be showing it off in a less than a month from now for Star Wars Celebration. And I've really been digging into just who are the iconic Sith of the game. And the list just goes on and on. We've just talked about some of the major Sith. That doesn't even tap into some of the class-specific Sith, like Lord Praven, the only Sith that you can turn to the dark side. Yeah. Lord Sithrat, who's a Sith on Makeb, and all these other kind of background Sith as well. And that doesn't even touch all the old Sith from the olden days. Zozin, Ajuntapal, Remulus, all these crazy people in the past who've done all types of crazy things to set up the Sith.
It's true. I know them by their outfits.
Right. We get them in game. That's the only important part.
Yeah, that's all I know about them.
One of them made Rakghouls. So that might be important to you. Oh, yeah, and one of them helped create the Sith Order. That also may be important to you, but mostly their fashion.
Yeah, and it just occurs to me now that we got so excited talking about this that we mixed up the people that you can disappoint while you're in a group with the people solo. But that's okay. While we're on the topic, though, since we're running it all together, we can't leave out one that I think we both love, which is Darth Zash.
Oh, I love Darth Zash so much. So major spoilers for the Inquisitor story. She is one of the few Sith who actually seems to go for what she wants and gets it through sneaky measures. She isn't like, I'm going to stab you, while you're not looking. She's like, I'm going to set up an elaborate plot and make you think I'm your friend and get really, really close to getting eternal life.
I was so into her. I was like, this is so cool. This is my mentor. She's such a cool chick. And I was
Betrayed.
Like, oh, I want to be friends. But then halfway through, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a me or you situation later, isn't it?
You should just give her your body. Then you guys can hang out together all the time, every day.
That's okay. I like my body the way it is.
fully yours, no sharing. You should talk to Valkorian about that one.
And talk to Kemval about it, too. He said it wasn't fun.
If you're the Sith Inquisitor, you've got like 6 ghosts at that point.
Oh, my God. That is true.
I know
collected
we're
many
hitting mostly
ghosts.
on Old Republic characters, but is there any more modern Star Wars characters that you think are really cool, like Darth Maul or Darth Vader, crusty old Emperor Palpatine?
I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of episodes 1 to 3, but when it came out, I was a big fan of the look of Darth Maul.
Right, he has
And
an incredible design, incredible.
The double-sided lightsaber.
So how did you feel when you saw? I'm not going to make any more motions. How did you feel? How do you feel when he like suddenly ignites the second side? Right.
I was so excited.
I need to go pay money at Kmart and buy that toy at Toys R Us.
Oh, I definitely had one for sure. I do. I had the, I don't know how old I was then, but I definitely had the double-bladed lightsaber toy from Toys R Us. It was really cool, and I really liked it because I liked the idea of a staff in the Star Wars universe.
It was very,
In
very
lightsaber
different.
form. I'm a big Xena fan. I was always a big fan of Gabrielle with
You're
her
like,
Amazon staff. I was like, yes!
Doesn't she have like that weird circular weapon too?
That's Cena,
Yeah, right.
and that's a chakram, but Gabrielle has the Amazon staff, and then later she fights with Size.
Uh-huh.
She
We need to
starts
get-
with a staff, so.
We need to get more Xena weapons into Star Wars if it hasn't happened already.
Yes, please.
That's all I'm hearing.
Masha. Oh, there's also one. Somebody in the comments has got to tell me what Flashpoint, when you kill the guy, it's like the worst, best voice line ever, where he dies and he goes, "No, I had a destiny."
And he sounds like this. No, and I can't remember the rest of what he says.
No,
Chat,
that's what
you
he.
gotta follow through for us.
No, he's just like, "No, I had a destiny." That's it. Then he's dead. That's really weird. It's so funny.
You play 1,000 more Flashpoints than me, by far. I could not tell you for the life of me.
I should have asked Vaz before we started.
Just go run one of every Flashpoint just so you can identify this one poor Sith who had a destiny.
Well, I know where it's not. It's one of the older ones.
Your weakness is not in your blood? I don't think it's in that one.
No, I don't know.
There's a lot of cool Sith that you fight in Flashpoint, so they don't get a lot of character development or anything like that, but you just kind of get to see them in passing, like in the Battle of Ilum? Yeah, the Battle of Ilum. There's that Sith that's got a Voss with him. And he's like throwing crystal shards at you and stuff like that. I always like that one a lot.
Her name is Tal Sako, right?
Tal Sako is this the boss,
Tal
yeah.
Sako. Yeah, she's the boss. And his name is, I don't know, some guy.
Who knows? Some Sith in a Flashpoint, right?
Yep.
That's how we do lore here.
Some
Ultimate
guy.
preparation.
Mm-hmm. There's that one at the end of Essalus, right? Also, he's got that weird, like, Joker smile scars. That guy is too cool for school.
I need a dramatic entrance and a dramatic visage for your first Flashpoint.
Those were the days. So, more spoilers. Boy, we have a big problem here with spoilers. We
Oh
have to
boy,
put
if you did not want spoilers, you needed to run like a year ago.
Yeah, sorry about it.
How are you supposed to talk about Sith without talking about spoilers?
It's true. They are one and the same. They are one with the Force, the dark side of the Force.
Well, yeah, most of them
Oh.
are one with the Force. Half of them are dead.
Talk to me about Malgus.
Malgus, who is not one with the Force. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Malgus for this one because he's kind of a strange character. He, I guess you could say, had a lot of character development, especially in the earlier part of the game. He had a whole book. He has this whole idea of wanting to reform the Sith and the Empire, and he becomes Emperor to do so through some crazy mechanics and stuff like that, taking over different space stations and a Star Forge and, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then he dies, and then he's picked back up, sort of. That whole storyline is still not even resolved years down the line. I feel like he has a lot less character now, so I care about him a lot less, but his design is cooler now.
At the time in the Flashpoint, I had mad respect for him because he was one of the first Sith to say, "Stop being racist. Why are you so fucking stupid?
It's specious.
Don't be so specious.
Right.
Stop it."
His impacts on that, though, really did change the Empire over the years, and the writers definitely kept it in the game and kept it going. You even see Major Henri, an alien, a Twi'lek, even in like the newer content in these higher ranking Imperial positions, where before she'd be I don't know, dancing in a cantina or hauling rocks on Dromund Kaas or something.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
If you're a Twi'lek, you either go to the mines or you go into hospitality. Not great.
Yeah, dancing. But so now you can serve the Empire and get killed for your troubles instead.
Wow. For the low, low price of $19.95, you too can learn how to be an agent of the Empire.
I'd write in for that course if my other choices were rocks or hospitality.
I don't know. I don't want to die. I might just get on the pole.
I do have something to say, though. I mentioned a lot of the Sith had died over the years. A lot of these characters were kind of one-and-done characters. A lot of the Sith on the Dark Council are no longer a part of it. I do have something I want to say to them. Every night in my dreams, I feel you. And imagine really bad flute playing right now. Not a flute, a recorder, even better. A tribute to our fallen Sith. There's just been so many at this point, to the point that the Dark Council has like 3 members left.
They kind of did it to themselves, though, you know?
It's the rule of 2. We started off with about 200 and just whittled our way down until only a couple were left.
Right, it is pretty sparse up there in the Dark Council these days. So.
Oh, I was curious. How do you feel about one of the most noticeable Sith companions, Darth Hexed, a companion that you can earn by running Flashpoints or other group finder activities?
I mean, she's fine. They had to turn off. She was one of the companions. They had to turn off some of her voice lines. I never used her much because
she was too much.
Just blah 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 blah. I hate to say that because I one day would love to have my voice lines turned off from talking too much in a game, but I feel bad. But it's like it has nothing. It has nothing to do with the person who did it. It has to do with like when it's triggered when you're killing stuff. It's just triggered too much. I mean, she's fine. There's not really any story.
She was something that was part of like a retired promotion, and then she came back. There are some other Sith that came back over time, though. Darth, what's her name? Bug Lady.
Malora.
Darth Malora. How did you feel when you saw her come back? Because she started off as just a random side character on Korriban, and then they brought her back in a later big storyline as a big part. I think she was even on the Dark Council at one point.
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of women supporting women, so I'm glad to see it.
Are you saying Asina hired her as part of
Sure, why not? And then there's the
initiative.
Oh God, who was the one you meet on Odessan? God, what is her name?
Darth Scary. That's pretty much all the ladies.
Shit, we might have to.
Are you talking about Darth military lady?
Yeah,
Darth Krovos.
Darth Krovos?
Yeah, she comes back too. She's
no wonder I didn't remember her name because that is a terrible name.
No, it's not. It's her like last name. It's not a Sith name. She's part of the Kuat Drive Yards Flashpoint if you play it on Imperial side, and then she comes back later on once again in a major part. She's one of the few people like left alive standing through all this, and she's like, as far as I understand, in charge of the entire Imperial military right now. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool. She was cool. That's really it. It's a good roundup of Sith. There are many, many others, and I'm sure everyone can tell us what are your favorite Sith. I feel like we like a lot of the Lady Sith.
I'm sorry, so biased.
So biased.
Apart from the major players, like oh my god, I don't even want to talk about Revan. I need a lot more drinks unless we got into that talk about whether Revan was Sith.
We don't talk about Revan. No.
Apart from our Lord and Savior Revan, and some of the major players like Mar, Malgus, Vitiate. Apart from those guys, do you guys have any favorite Sith characters, whether they're major characters on the Dark Council or some of those side characters that you meet along the way? If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely leave a comment. I'd love to read some of these.
Indeed. Every time we have these chats, I think to myself, I really should make time to go back and play the stories over again. Because I have played the stories, but at this point, oh my God, it's probably been like 8 years since I've played a lot of them. And these discussions always remind me of that.
You know what's a really good time to return to those class stories? We'll talk about that next on the news.
You heard it here last.
We have a lot of news. If you're watching this episode when it comes out in early May, there will be a bunch of different stuff going on. First off, and the most important one is Double XP is running from May 3rd through May 10th, 2022. So you can have Double XP, Double Valor if you're working on that through PvP, and Double Galactic Starfighter Requisition rewards. You can totally combine that up with other types of XP boosts. Don't forget, if you're trying to get from like 75 to 80, that special leftover leveling armor no longer works, but any other items, any other legacy boosts, all of that does double up with double XP. During that same time frame of May 3 through 10, you can log into the game and get a free mini pet. This is a little cutie. It looks like a little orange box that floats around and has a little flashlight. And all you have to do is log in once to at least one character, and it'll be automatically sent to all of the rest of your characters. You don't have to like log into each one or anything like that. And lastly, there will be a collections unlock going on that people are quite excited about, running the same time frame, May 3rd through May 10th. Collections unlocks are 50% off. That allows you to unlock certain items across your entire account by paying cartel coins, and then you can have like unlimited copies for your characters. There is one event happening as well during that time frame. It overlaps with Double XP, and that will be the Dantooine event, and that will be running once again May 3rd through 10th. If you want to go combine those two, you totally can. And there will also be later on in the month, the Bounty event will be running May 17th through 24th, and the Swoop event will be running May 31st through June 7th.
Oh boy, the Swoop event. That's actually the only reputation I need, though. So
Go get it. Go level it up.
I mean, besides the, what do you call it? The Underworld Syndicate stuff.
I have been hearing some people posting about that, saying that unless you started early on, you won't be able to complete that reputation track during the actual event.
Really?
That's a little scary. Yeah, because there's a special achievement related to Galactic Seasons where you have to run 100 weeklies total, so more than just complete the track, and you have to reach the highest reputation within the event's time, according to the achievement.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not going to get that one.
Guess we're all fucked then. Thanks, BioWare.
And thanks to you guys for tuning in for this episode of the Star Forge podcast.
It was a light, loosey-goosey one. We didn't even get to talk about the crap that went on last week. So.
Oh my gosh, it was such a mess, and it was hilarious. Hopefully it'll be fixed by the time you listen to this.
Hopefully this game doesn't make us look like fools again for another week.
I was laughing so hard because we recorded the last episode before it had actually come out. We just recorded it from the patch notes, and then it's like, oh, let me strike that from the record.
You were like, just pretend the patch already came out, and we forgot that when the patches come out, that it's shit usually.
You know what? Sith happens. Happy Revenge of the Sith, everyone. Happy Star Wars Week.
Happy Star Wars Week, friends. See you next time.
You've been listening to the Star Forge podcast with Scya and Mal. We know you have your choice of podcasts, and you chose the right one. New episodes drop every Friday on Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Swtorista's YouTube channel, and just about every other podcast platform in existence. For show notes, pictures, and other information, visit starforgepodcast.com. Hit us up on Twitter at StarForgeCast. We love hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.
Take two. You've already had too much. What have you had? 2 sips? It's 2 sips too many.
Ew, baby.
Shit.